Hi, this is Kim with the My Sexy Business team, and I am super excited about our guest tonight. I cannot wait to introduce you to someone who, she has to be a woman after my heart because she actually quit a corporate job to do my favorite thing ever, which is play with puppies. She is a certified dog trainer, not just a dog trainer, but a certified dog trainer, and puppy lover and dog rescuer. I mean, she's done all kinds of things to help dogs. And I love you already. Welcome, Sherry Nativo.
Well, thank you so much, Kim, for having me here. Thank you.
You're so welcome. I'm actually really honored because anyone that follows me knows that I have this princess problem, which is I want a puppy just terribly, but I'm on the road and I can't have one right now. So I'm actually doing everything in my power to prepare for that puppy.
Love it.
Puppy's going to be so spoiled right off because I'm going to know exactly what I'm supposed to do because I don't have a puppy to bring to you to train, but please train me so that I am ready.
Perfect. Okay. So you want to know, how do you pick the right puppy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you need to look at different breeds because different breeds have different activity levels. So a good thing to kind of do is figure out how active do you want to be with your dog. So I'll give you a good example. So border collies are very active. And so if you aren't going to do a lot of walking or running or, letting the border collie chase a ball at the park, then that's not going to be the right dog. Smaller dogs generally don't have as much energy as herding dogs or working dogs. That help?
It does help. I have a friend that, because of the movie 101 Dalmatians, thought it would be great to get a Dalmatian puppy, which they're just absolutely adorable. But they have a very active lifestyle like the family does, and they're not home a lot. And so this poor puppy, they quickly figured out was not the right fit for them. And so I understand completely what you're saying because I felt sorry for the puppy and I felt sorry for them because they didn't mean to pick poorly.
Yeah. And it's hard because we see a puppy and they're adorable. So all dogs are going to need a walk. So all dogs need at least 20 to 30 minutes of a walk twice a day. In fact, before coming on with you, I made sure my dogs had a little walk so that they weren't going a little stir crazy in here with me.
I love it. I hope we get to meet him before this interview's over.
I can pick him up and bring him up if you want. Of course.
I am so pathetic, and I just own it that I just am puppy crazy. But I laugh because one of the first interactions I had with you was you told me you posted puppy pictures, or I keep calling them puppies. I don't mean just babies. I mean all sizes of dogs and all ages. But I just call them all puppies. But you said you post pictures every day. And so I've been creeping on you, just so you know.
Well, actually, did you see the Facebook Live I did there were a litter of puppies? And I did, so I work with a rescue and they raise a lot of puppies. And we do a lot of socialization behind the scenes before the puppies go home around 8 or 9 weeks old. And so I did a couple of Facebook Lives with those puppies. Did you see any of those?
I didn't, but I can promise I'll be going to look. I have to live vicariously through you right now.
Yeah. So yeah, those puppies are adorable. So as far as how to find the right puppy, first look at, there's different breed categories, like a herding breed or a working dog. They also have a toy category, but I would look more at even the activity level of that toy category to figure out, okay, what is going to be the best for me? And each dog's an individual too. So even if let's say you want a Dalmatian and you get a Dalmatian, not all Dalmatians are going to have the same characteristics or the same personality trait.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. So I'll give you an example. So these two, Can you see my two dogs? At least a photo.
Yes.
They're my babies. Okay, so these are Italian Greyhounds. And this is my girl, my female, and my boy. They're about a year apart in age. And they're total opposites.
Really?
I mean, personality-wise, total opposites. So, you know, my boy's really mellow and laid back, and my girl, who's older, is high-strung and spazzy and a busybody and demanding. Every stereotype of women. So, you know, they're, even though their breed is the same, they're a year apart. I mean, their personalities are very different. So sometimes you just don't know what you're going to get.
Wow. Well, whenever you kind of have an idea, like maybe you go through and you read about the different breeds and you get an idea of what you think you want to get, is there a way to, and I don't want to say it the wrong way, but is there a way to almost shadow a puppy owner where you can get to know a breed without actually committing to the adoption process? Because that's one of the concerns I have. I see it a lot is people will take a sweet puppy home from the shelter, and then a year or two later you see them advertised free to a good home because they didn't work out.
Yes. So I think what you're asking is, how do I, once I pick a breed, how do I find the right puppy in that breed category even? Yeah. That's a fabulous question. And that's the $1 million question too. So first you want to look at the activity level, and then you want to look at how is the puppy being raised. Mm. So whether you go through a rescue or a breeder, so have you heard of puppy socialization before? Have you just heard that word?
I have.
You have. Okay.
But tell me.
I'm going to tell you. So the socialization window for puppies is 3 weeks to 12 weeks old. That means they develop most of their good and bad behaviors in that time frame. So in the U.S., the law is that you can't get a puppy before 8 weeks old. So if the window developmentally is 3 to 12 weeks, then you have 4 weeks.
Wow.
So that dog, though, that puppy, has all of that time before you. So what you want to look for is whether it's a rescue. Remember, I told you I was working with a rescue behind the scenes, or a breeder. You want to make sure that they are doing things that help that puppy grow, help socialize them. So, and a lot of times we hear the word socialization and we think it's play with other dogs, but it's introduce them to people. So really what it is puppies learn by experience. If they have a bad or a scary experience, then they learn, like let's say they have a bad experience with a child. They learn that the child is dangerous. And if they think a child is dangerous, they're going to bark, lunge, bite, snap, or growl. Now, it doesn't mean that the child hurt them. It could be that the puppy was scared. So you want to look for a breeder or even a rescue raising a puppy that is going to that's going to introduce things positively to the puppy, so the puppy has positive experiences until that time they go home with you. And then the baton passes to you to maintain those positive experiences and continue them.
Well, you know, you bring up a really good point, though, because we go and think, like most people just go, and if they get a puppy, they think, okay, we need dog food, we need a dog bowl, you know, we need a water bowl, and we need a leash, and we're good to go.
Yeah.
But I so disagree with that, and I so think that that's crazy that we do that, and especially for our kids, because our kids don't have any idea how to, you know, do what you're talking about, and we don't have any idea.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Well, is there some kind of a class or something that maybe that you teach, or something where people can get ready to get a puppy?
There is a class, but trying to think. So puppy socialization is really something that starts early on. But let me recommend books. I think that's what you're looking for, and then I'm going to backtrack a little bit. So there's a really good book called Puppy Start Right. It's written by a dog trainer and her husband, who is a veterinarian. So it has the behavior aspect and then the medical aspect from it as well. And it talks a lot about puppy development, and then it talks about like the how-to guide for certain behaviors. Outside of that, there is also a woman named Jane Killian. She is a breeder and a dog trainer, and she did a phenomenal job explaining socialization to breeders so that they learn how to raise dogs. So her program is called Puppy Culture, and she did a DVD series. It's like a 5-hour DVD series on how to raise a puppy so that it grows up to be a well-behaved dog between that time frame of 3 weeks and 12 weeks, how to introduce the puppy to things the right way so that they have a good experience. You see that?
I love it. What's his name?
So this is Sadie. This is my female.
Oh, I thought that was the boy. I'm sorry, Sadie.
That's okay. So anyway, so what Jane Killian did with Puppy Culture is she put together like each week of the puppy's life, and she talks about the developmental stages, which are all based on research. These aren't things that she discovered. It's just things that she put together in a nice little package. So what I recommend for people that want to get a dog from a breeder is that they find a Puppy Culture breeder first. Now, this information, the puppy culture stuff and raising puppies, it's not new. And so a lot of rescues are starting to adopt those processes as well. So when I found out about Jane's information, and her information is tailored to breeders, but dog owners can learn from that as well. But I watched her videos. I watched them 3 or 4 times. They're 5 hours. I know I'm like a nerd. I wrote notes. Every time she said research shows, I looked at the research. But I decided to raise a litter of rescue puppies because her information is tailored to breeders. And I thought, why can't we do this with rescue puppies?
Yes.
So I raised a litter of rescue puppies. I put it on my YouTube page, everything that I did with them. They were actually born here in this room. Yeah. And then I'm teaching the rescue how to do that same thing with all of their puppies.
Okay, I will be watching those videos because I cannot wait. I think that's the missing link to a lot of the dogs that end up back in the shelters. We don't prepare well, and then we end up with ill-behaved, but it's our fault.
Yeah, and my dogs are going to play right now. Speaking of ill-behaved, right in the middle. And now it's my boy. So I'm going to pick one up. Otherwise, come here, Boba. You want to come up here? So, oh my gosh. He's always quiet, and then if I do a live, he'll act crazy. Anyways, so yes, you're right. A lot of it is in how the puppy is raised. But there are some other things in addition to that. So here's, I don't want humans. This is what bums me out a little bit is when people say, well, gosh, it was my fault. And really, the information is complex. It's kind of hard. I wish you could see them. You would just laugh.
I would love it. Oh, and Kelly Cornelson's on with this. She has 2, I think it's called Bichon.
Yeah, Bichon. She has 2 Bichons.
Oh my goodness, they're so cute.
They are so cute. And she has a male and a female too. And her female likes to dig in the dirt. And Bichons are all white. They're little white fluffy dogs. And then her Bichon gets all muddy. It's adorable. I love it. So socialization is definitely a gap in dog training and in puppy training and in raising. And so bringing awareness to actually what that means And so that means your dog should have positive experiences with different people, different places, different things, different floor textures, and not just an experience, but a positive experience. The puppy has to be having fun.
Oh, wow. So they're like a princess. If it's not fun, I'm out.
I love that. It's puppy prince and princess development.
That's right. Well, and I will say this, our sexy business team is all about like helping people create sexy businesses for sexy lives. And so I want to make the bridge for everyone that's listening is this is part of the sexy life that we get to live, is to have these amazing, dogs and puppies in our lives if we create that kind of a life. And I love the fact that you created that life by actually leaving corporate. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
No, so how it started for me is I got Sadie, this one, and she, I didn't know anything about socialization. So I got her at 16 weeks old, which is kind of when developmentally the scales tip. They become a little bit more fearful than curious. So puppies are born curious. And, I didn't know what I was doing. I was working a full-time job. She developed behavioral issues. I really didn't know how to solve those issues. I had a dog before through my college years, and I just thought, I had a dog before. I know what I'm doing. And after a year, she was very difficult and very hard to deal with. And as I searched for dog trainers, I had a hard time finding a dog trainer that didn't want to put a collar on her that would punish her. And so my background was in human resources. And so, in HR, right, you want to prevent problems. You want to educate people. You want to provide the training they need instead of just disciplining employees. The same thing for dogs. And so I thought, okay, I think I understand the punishment of the dog, but how do I prevent her from doing it so that I don't have to punish? And what's the gap there? So as I learned more about puppy development, how dogs learn, the feelings and fears that dogs develop, then I became obsessed, where I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And I went through the Karen Pryor Dog Training Academy and changed careers.
I love it. Well, I think I qualify to be related to you because I am puppy obsessed. That's the right word.
That's it. That's perfect. I love it. Happy puppy obsessed. They're adorable.
I don't know if you saw a few days ago, I actually met a friend from England, and she had two little Shih Tzus. And I actually, and this is so silly because I'm big business and I'm all that, but I'm out at the park like a little kid with these puppies, getting to walk them and thinking I have arrived. That's the best thing ever.
I saw that. I did see that. That was so cute. Were you so excited?
Oh my goodness. And I am really pathetic. Like this is like legit pathetic. I can't help it. I just love them. And I know for the puppy that I get, it's going to have a different kind of life because I have a different kind of life, and it's going to have to go to like events with me and do different things with me that maybe other puppies don't do. And so I feel like I need to prepare even more.
I love that. I love that. And I love that. Well, so you could get that Puppy Start Right book. And, if you decide to do a dog from a breeder or a rescue dog, there's no right or wrong. You could look up a puppy culture breeder. There are some rescues that are getting really savvy to this. I met a lady who runs the Glendale Humane Society, and she does very similar things. Like she will train the rescue dogs that come in before they find homes. So, it is trickling out there, but I love that you're planning ahead. That's fabulous.
Well, I will tell you, I've had dogs in the past, and I've never planned ahead. And I was a, fly by the seat of my pants kind of puppy mama, and figure it out after after the fact. But I feel like I have opportunity. At 51, I have a certain lifestyle that I live, and I want my puppy to be part of that lifestyle, not just some, and that's one of my things why I'm waiting is I don't want a puppy that I have to put in a hotel room and stay there and wait for me for hours, while I'm doing things. I want one that understands, like, they can go out. And I don't know if it was you, it may have been you that said it, to actually train them to go on stage with me.
Oh, wow. So you present on stage?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, you definitely can do that, and especially with the younger dog, so as dog trainers, right? There are a lot of dog trainers that become presenters, presenting dog training information, and we don't leave our dogs at home. A lot of the times we take them with us. So I've been to conferences and things like that where the presenter brings their dogs, and and as dog trainers, we have multiple dogs. So you might see like 3 or 4 dog crates lined up even on the stage.
Oh,
now,
wow.
That's a little extreme, but that's something that might be possible too. And if you have an assistant that can help with the dog while you're talking in case the dog has to go potty, or you wouldn't want that on stage.
That would not be the perfect event. I can't even think of the right word, but that would definitely not be highly recommended.
I think actually that might help with engagement, because people love puppies. And so if they saw a puppy on stage, they might be a little bit more curious, or when I was doing a little bit of research to build my webinar, and I was looking at like the physical benefits of having a dog, like just the health benefits. And I was like, wow, they increase serotonin and dopamine, help with blood pressure. I just told you dogs need to be walked 30 minutes a day. So that's like a mile. Let's see, 2 miles of walking, maybe 2.5, depending on how fast you walk a day. So that could help. So,
well, trust me, I've shown my poor husband has seen every dog video that comes out, because it's the first thing I do is show him, see, this is another reason I need a puppy. This is another reason.
When do you have a breed picked out or a time?
Well, I've kind of narrowed it down a little bit. I really like the little Westies.
Okay, cute, perfect.
And they're small enough that I wouldn't have to, because if I fly, I don't want to have to put them, under the plane or anything. I just don't want to do anything like that. So I'm trying to think all the way down the road, like everywhere we go, and not. And I know that probably at some point I would have to leave them if we leave the country, but I still am trying to be prepared for all of that.
Good. Well, that's smart, because, a lot of people don't prepare. I mean, I didn't. I just thought I had a dog in the past, and that qualified me, and I knew what I was doing. And so I love that you are doing the research first, looking at the breed, looking at a smaller breed. Who can you carry in the cabin with you versus putting it in cargo? That could be very scary for dogs to go in cargo, especially younger dogs. People do it, and dogs are fine, but when you can, it's better to have them in the cabin. So I love that. I think a Westie is a great breed. So good. That's exciting.
I'm getting ready, and I feel like I need to take puppy classes, but I don't know if they'll let me take puppy classes without a puppy. But I feel like I want to have some experience so that, we can do all the training we need to right off, because like you said, that window, I don't want to miss that window because I'm still fumbling around trying to figure it out.
Yeah, so that window is important. But then, so what happens with puppies is when they're born, they are born more curious than they are frightened. So that 3 to 12 weeks, that's where that comes in. So just developmentally, because people will say, well, my puppy loves everyone. Yes, because that's the way they're born. So we want to take advantage of that time and have a lot of positive exposures. And then neurologically, developmentally, those scales tip around 16 weeks. So between like 13 and 16 weeks, novelty becomes more scary. Things that they haven't had positive experiences with or any experiences with become scary or dangerous. However, that doesn't mean you shouldn't still try and create more positive experiences. It just means it takes a little bit longer, more work on your part. Not impossible, though.
I love that part. I love that I can not be so intense that I'm afraid to mess up. That's another thing too. Is I don't want to be such such a perfectionist that I don't enjoy my puppy. I don't want to cross over there either. But I do think being prepared is so much better than to wait and just figure it out.
No, yeah. So definitely, that book I referenced, that's a good book. You always have me as a resource. So
yeah, that's right.
Definitely call me. We could always do like Skype lessons, or, you could send me videos. I'm putting together an online course. So, you'll have all of those tools. I mean, there are other things. So socialization is real important, but you want to do, crate training and potty training. And, those things are important too. I like to teach dogs to come away from something. So if they walk up to a person and they get nervous, you can call them back. So understanding dog body language. But yeah, so you're on the right track, preparing ahead of time.
Well, I'm super excited. And, anybody that's listening, if you have some things coming up, I would love if they would go and follow you also. What is your page?
Sure. My Facebook page is called All About Training Dogs. So it's 4 words, All About Training Dogs.
And we'll get it in the comments after we get off the live part. We'll put it in the comments because, the thing is you are an amazing resource for this princess, but I want the world to know that they can also, watch your stuff and learn. And even with your class, do you have a date when your class is coming out?
So I did just do a small launch. So I'll probably relaunch in June.
Well, be sure and let me know. I may take the class even without a puppy.
Oh, Kim, well, thank you so much for sharing my page and actually for bringing awareness to people about puppies and puppy socialization. I mean, that's the first step, is to let people know what they need to do to help their puppy and help themselves.
Yes. Well, and I think if you take a little bit of time up front, you have years and years and years of great pleasure.
Yes. I mean, dogs can live 10 to 15. I have a friend, her dog lived 22 years.
Wow.
So it's really worth it to invest in the beginning.
Yes. Well, and I think anything worth having and and that's business, that's personal, that's puppies, whatever. If we pay up front, we get the payoff from then on. Instead of doing what most of us want to do, which is the microwave society. I just want one right now and I want it to act right now.
Yes. Yes.
We need to invest. I think that's important. And if someone buys your course, that's an investment from then on. I think that's another key to it, is once you teach someone how to train a puppy, that means every puppy they ever have from that point on, their lives are different.
Yes. And what I like to do in my course is I like to teach people how the dog learns and how they communicate. Because once you understand those concepts, like we did talk about the experiences, that's one part of it. But once you understand those concepts, then you could really change anything. Then so I get a lot of calls, well, what do I do if my puppy's doing this or my puppy's doing that? So it's always good to understand how it works. So you don't have to know everything, but it's like when we get our driver's license, we have to know what the gas pedal does and what the brake does. You don't have to know how to change a transmission.
Thank goodness.
I'm going to see if I can bring Roby up. Come here, Bubba. Come here.
Oh. Hello, Roby.
Oh.
He's beautiful. I love that they just keep kissing you. They are so sweet.
So he's my sweet boy.
He doesn't know he's famous yet, does he? It didn't go to his head yet.
It didn't go to his head yet. And he actually came from the shelter.
Oh.
So, Bubba. Oh.
Now Sadie's not going to have any of that.
You want to come out?
I love it. Kelly Cornelson, if she's still on, I can't see the comments, but I was laughing because she did one the other day and her babies were, they were coming through and barking and playing and she kept trying to get them to be quiet. And I thought that made the video perfect. Like I know she was wanting to stop, but I thought, oh my goodness, I loved it.
Cute. I'll have to look at that one. But yeah, I love it when people do like a Facebook Live and then the dog barks and then they're like, what? Why is the dog barking? But it just makes it more interesting, right? That's what happens in real life.
That's right. Well, and that's part of my theory. I just want to say that's part of my theory, even with what you said about leaving corporate to do what you absolutely were obsessed with and loved. And that's part of having a sexy life. Like you created a sexy business so that you have a sexy life now with your puppies.
Yes.
That is exactly why I don't want to hide the fact I want a puppy, because it is part of, the entire thing about me. It is not, I'm all business and I have to not be silly and I have to, be stoic and all that. That's not my flavor. So I just appreciate you coming on tonight and talking about this. And you helped me, but I'm excited because everyone who listens to this, I hope will do the same. I hope they'll contact you with questions, or if anyone does have questions that's listening, put them in here. We'll check the post. But thank you so much.
Well, you are welcome. Thank you so much for having me on and for sharing this with your audience and your folks. I think it's great information and I appreciate it and I'm glad you did it.
Well, I appreciate you. And like I said, I'll be creeping on your page some more because I'll have to go back and see those puppies that you raised.
Yeah, you'll have to go check them out. They're very cute.
So if any of you are listening and you have a puppy and you have questions, or if you're going to get a puppy, or if you're just like me, you're just smitten with puppies, be sure and go on over to Sharing Nativo's page. We'll post it in the comments so that you can follow her too. She's amazing and her puppies are amazing. So you want to follow her journey. So this is Kim White with the My Sexy Business team. Remember, we're here to help you have a sexy business so that you can have a sexy life and you get to pet puppies. Thank you guys for being with us.
Thank you.